from teasing each other to sharing the most special bond.
She wants 5 more minutes with her old dad.
And to creating a new life together. Let's take a look at the best couples and duos on Young Sheldon.
Are you going to talk the whole time?
It seems to be annoying you, so yeah.
Sheldon and Missy, teasing and beyond. As twin brother and sister, it seems that these two have to be extremely close, but that they couldn't be more different.
By the age of 2, I was reading books. Missy was content to eat them.
Even the way they speak isn't the same.
You're gonna get your ass kicked in high school.
Hey, language.
I'm not going to be assaulted.
And let's not forget that Missy enjoys teasing Sheldon. She uses every chance she gets for that.
I'm going to take apart the refrigerator and figure out what's making that noise.
Her reaction to that was unexpected.
That is a really good idea.
But then it became clear why she said so, just to tease him later.
I told him not to do it. He wouldn't listen.
Classic Missy. Yet still, Sheldon and his sister get quite a few meaningful moments in the series. It usually happens when they go above the competition or stop figuring out who's right or wrong. Despite everything, Sheldon and Missy love each other, even though they won't admit it that often. And eventually, they make a pretty good team. Even moving to different rooms, they still kept communicating through the wall. But let's see who else Sheldon had a special bond with. Sheldon and Mima, video game buddies. Or should we call them Moonpie and Meemaw? Because she kept using this nickname even when he grew up. Sheldon's entire childhood, they'd been pretty close. She taught him to play poker.
You lied to your moon pie.
I bluffed my moon pie.
And Meemaw was also the one who helped him solve his existential crisis.
If nothing is real, then neither is the chicken.
Worked like a charm. Indeed, Sheldon always liked his Meemaw's company, and he was absolutely thrilled when she fell in love with his friend, Dr. Sturgis.
Excellent. I love him too.
Also, do you remember how Sheldon fascinated her with science for a moment?
For making me the Meemaw of science.
Sadly, this didn't end with any kind of prize. But certainly, we can't forget one of their biggest bonding moments, the video game frenzy.
Right behind you, monster!
I see him!
And, oh, the joy of finally saving the princess.
We saved the princess! We did it!
Although Sheldon played many more games since then, this one definitely remained the most memorable.
By handing me the controller, she was telling me she believed in me.
Sure, Meemaw wasn't the only one who believed in him. Sheldon and Mary, no partners in faith. Knowing that he's different from other kids, Mary always wishes to protect her child. She does her best to help him, even when all she can do is pray.
Lord, look after my son. Don't let him get stuffed in a gym bag.
Sheldon appreciated her very much, and for her, he was ready to step out of his comfort zone and go to church pretty much every Sunday.
Why are you going? You don't believe in God.
Nope, but I believe in Mom.
And at least once, Sheldon was there for Mary when no one else could help her. In season 2, she had a faith crisis.
You didn't go to church. You stopped saying grace. I don't understand what's going on.
At first, it seemed to Mary that there was nothing Sheldon could do, but he helped her through his strongest trait, science knowledge.
Did you know that if gravity were slightly more powerful, the universe would collapse into a ball?
It was a pretty eye-opening conversation.
The precision of the universe at least makes it logical to conclude there's a creator.
And when Mary said that logic wouldn't work in her case because her problem was about the heart.
There are 5 billion people on this planet and you're the perfect mom for me. What are the odds of that?
That finally convinced her to keep her faith.
Thank you, Lord, for this little boy.
Now, let's talk about her relationship with her husband. Mary and George, there for each other. Sure, these two don't always get along.
You are such a monkey butt.
But they still love each other. And when they get to show it, it's always very sweet.
Mary, I appreciate how much you take care of the house.
She was also ready to acknowledge George's efforts.
I appreciate how hard you work. I know you make a lot of sacrifices.
The Coopers supported one another on quite a few occasions. Like when Mary lost her child. Although George freaked out about her pregnancy at first, he was sad about the loss.
I love the first 3. 4th one's a charm, right?
And when Mary found out that George could lose his job, she was there for him.
I'm sorry.
It was also nice to witness their romantic phase after Mary got fired from the church. Sure, not everyone was happy to see them so blissful.
Oh, still?
Morning, honey.
Missy was so used to seeing them argue that she couldn't understand all those hugs and kisses. At the same time, she and her dad had a lot in common. Missy and George, daddy-daughter bond. These two share quite a few special moments in the series. It all started with their first outing at Red Lobster.
You good, huh?
Unbelievable.
Missy totally felt like a princess that evening.
Will you call me Melissa?
Throughout the series, George has always looked out for his baby daughter. He taught her how to throw a ball, which essentially started her baseball hobby.
That one had some zip on it.
He also taught her how to drive, although he'd never admit that to Mary. Even when Missy's first period started, George was the one who helped her.
Everything you need's right here.
You're the best.
Sadly, as Missy became a teenager, they grew apart. But even after lashing out at him, she always found the courage to come up and apologize.
I feel really bad about the other day. I was so mean to you.
And although she didn't enjoy their little dates as much as before,
What would you like me to call our date?
You're so annoying.
they still loved each other. George's relationship with his eldest kid was also pretty special, although it had its ups and downs too. George and Georgie, like father, like son. When young Cooper dropped out of school, his father wasn't happy about it, but he eventually accepted his choice.
I think it's great you got this job. You're doing so well at it.
George knew that his son had worked a lot,
I'm proud of you.
but Georgie needed time to learn to appreciate his dad, and you could actually understand why. Remember how George decided to have the talk with him and did it in the most awkward way possible?
You're of an age where your body has urges.
Oh my God.
Well, at least he tried, and he even attempted to apply his football knowledge to make himself clear, or so he thought.
You know how when we're running practice drills and we wear protection so both people are safe?
What? Guess you need to be a football coach to get that.
Same thing, but with your privates.
Please leave.
Thank you.
Too bad George didn't listen to his father carefully that night. We all know how it ended up for him. He knocked up his girlfriend and became a teenage father. Speaking of which, Georgie and Mandy, the new beginning. It's funny how their relationship started with a lie.
21.
I was worried you were going to say 19.
Oh, no, I promise I'm not 19.
Well, he didn't lie about that. We've got to give it to him. Mandy also lied about her age, but in the opposite way, if we can say so.
I'm actually 29.
It was a good chance for Georgie to also tell the truth. However, the date was going a little too well for that.
Well, then I guess there's something I should tell you. I'm totally fine with that. Great.
It's no wonder that when Mandy found out that Georgie was 17, she broke up with him. Their relationship would end then and there, but...
I'm pregnant.
And that's when Georgie showed his best side. He ensured that Mandy wasn't alone in this, especially when her parents kicked her out of the house.
I peed in the sink last night.
Trust me, I'll fix this.
And although Mandy didn't think she wanted to be with Georgie, due to his enormous support, she began falling for him. Sure, sometimes she still doubted that they could be together.
Look at this. Father of my child.
But when their baby girl was born, she could no longer resist.
All right, let's get married.
Eventually, their relationship developed so much that the showrunners decided to make a separate show about Georgie and Mandy. We're sure that you're looking forward to it as much as we do.
Baby check.
Stop reading.
All right, we got this.
What other duos from the series would you add to the list? Share in the comments below.